Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we're here with our 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection winner, Drake Reynolds. He's going to go over his live Twin Spright deck list for you.
Howdy friends, my name's Drake Reynolds. As we already know, I decided to play live Twin Spright for the event because I think it's got a lot of strengths that some of the other decks in the current format really don't have. It's got a high degree of consistency, a lot of ways to find its non-engine pieces, and it just grinds really hard. So I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get right into it. I'm going to go pretty quickly through the standard things. The sprites are all these standard numbers, so 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, and 1 carrot. Don't really need any more than these. I've always wanted to try a second red, but every time I try it, I just don't really need it, and I would just rather play a generic card instead. For the live twins, we play 3 Leela, 3 Kill, 1 Kill Frost, and then most standard lists stop here, maybe playing 2 of her, but I'm also playing the 1 copy of live twin Leela Treat. The reason I'm doing that is because there's a significant amount of hands where you draw Kill and then one of your search spells. I don't want to activate the search spell to search Leela because then that loses to Droll. So I want to normal this and activate its effect, but if it gets like ashed or impermed, if I wasn't playing this, the search spell is another dead card in my hand and I'd have to just pass turn. So this gives me the ability to extend harder in a wider variety of hands. And at the worst case, it's still level 2. I mean, sprites always want level 2s.
That's smart. Good tech.
Thank you. The hand trap lineup in the main deck is relatively svelte. We're just playing 3 Ash and 3 Crow. Apparently this is spicy right now. I thought people were still main decking Crow. I think this card's insane. So it's a non-once per turn hand trap because my combo consistently draws 1 to 2 cards on my opponent's turn. Having access to a decent amount of hand traps is worthwhile. I don't like Imperm because everyone's like, oh, you can Imperm the Turbulence in the Rescue Ace matchup, but usually the good players are just making Little Knight first, so that you can just tag it out, and then you're down a card, and this deck wins by going 2 for 1 against your opponent. But this card's great because I wanted to respect Tyr, Unchained, and Pearly as my 3 kind of big decks in the room. If my opponent's playing Manatium, I'll just take the loss. I don't think that deck is... I think it just has too many flaws. I have more stuff accounting for it in the side deck.
Right.
But in the main, I wanted to particularly beat Unchained and Pearly because those 2 matchups are horrible if you're not playing this card going second. Noir just kind of savages this deck if you don't have this. But it was great in the tournament. Every time I resolved it, it just felt high impact, and I would not change it.
Awesome.
For the spell cards, 3 Sunny Snitch and 3 Password. Some people have been trimming down numbers of this. Some play 2, some play 1, some don't play it at all. And the logic is that it loses to Droll, but I'd rather play as many copies of this as possible and then force them to have the Droll, as opposed to not drawing away into Engine at all, because then they don't have to draw any hand traps. It puts them on having to have a card where otherwise they would just be able to have me pass, and I don't like that. 2 Sprite Starter, because that's all we're allowed, unfortunately. 1 Smashers. I'm not playing Gamma Burst, because this is the one variation of Sprite that has no issues going to the long game. A lot of the most topping recent builds, like the Adventure Sprite build or the Tri-Brigade Sprite build, they all like to build their board and then kill turn 3. This deck can build a board, but I'm completely fine taking out to turn 5, 7, 9, 11. I'm completely fine just going
You're cool
long.
with the grind.
I'm completely cool with the grind because the twins are just so strong. Every turn they're a +2. Each one is, because then if they get tributed off, because the red and the carrot, I didn't mention it, because they both tribute 2 Axis monsters as well, call them the level rank link 2s. If you have the Kill on your opponent's turn, summoning back a Leela to pop, and then they do something, you negate with one of these, then the Kill, that's the one you tribute, that's engraved, so then Leela can summon that back, and that's an additional draw. So you just regenerated your value plus an additional card.
Nice.
These 2, the red, carrot, and then the twin links just synergize so well. And then we get to what I call the arsenal. So I didn't play a lot of hand traps, but I played a lot of power spells. We main deck 3 Droplet, 3 Book of Moon, 2 Tactics, 1 Call by the Grave, and then I also play Double Cross. I'll get to this in a second because this card way overperformed. But Droplet, generically good because Arisar's not in the format anymore. Rest in peace, he was a really cool guy. But this card just has coverage into everything. Also, it synergizes extremely well with the live twins, because so many times you would normal summon a twin, activate its effect, they have an imperm, you chain link to the Droplet, send the twin, negate one of their monsters, and then you summon the other twin, And the twins are not on normal summon. They're on normal or special. And then because you still control no monsters, you get to activate the new twins effect to summon the other twin from deck again.
Wow.
So it just trades extremely favorably into boards. Book of Moon is in here strictly to respect Pearly. And also because this can usually force interactions even into non-Pearly matchups. Like a lot of players don't want like their Dissipator turn face down in the Vanadium matchup. Or if you're against Unchained, this can immediately turn off the Caesar, because the Caesar absolutely hoses this deck as well. We want to activate effects to special summon. And if you're activating monster effects, plays into Talents. I think Talents is the greatest card in the game. I would not be caught dead without 3 of these in my list
Talents
somewhere.
is insane.
I cannot believe that this card is real. It's insane. And then Called is just really good. Some people were curious why I was playing this as well. This beats Impulse, and Impulse is really good into a normal summon twin effect. Because you activate Twin Chain Link 1, they Impulse Chain Link 2, that summons Fire Engine, and then the Fire Engine's on field while you summon the other twins, so they also get the Preventer, and that's really, really bad. I wanted to turn that off. Also, Droll can sometimes be annoying. The all-star of the deck, though, was Double Cross. Double Cross is insane. A lot of decks, like Labyrinth or Vanadium, they like to lead Fenrir into your board, and this is extremely good because it doesn't negate the effect, but it just takes the Fenrir. So then they're down a Fenrir. You always have an arrow to... with the Kill link, you always have an arrow to take it and put it in that zone. So then they're down a card, you're up a card, and they have to play through their own Fenrir. It's unbelievably good. In one of the previous matches, not even in the tournament, my opponent summoned a Savage, activated the effect Chain Link 1 to place the tokens. I Chain Link 2 took it, I got the Savage, tokens got placed on, so now I have the monster with the negate. It's just so good.
That's amazing.
This card's insane. A lot of lists don't play it, and they're like, oh, it's not good going second. I have so much non-engine space. If I draw the one trap card in my deck going second, like, oh well, you know? For the extra deck, the overperformers is the Live Twin package. 3 Evil Twin Kill, 2 Evil Twin Leela, 1 Trouble Sunny, and then 1 Muckraker. In older lists, some lists played 2 Trouble Sunny. I always liked that, but Muckraker just does everything for the deck. This can just summon this thing back for free, which is just a ton of damage. Trouble Sunny also, that's why I'm not playing the Gamma Burst, is because this with the 2 twins is like 5,500 damage on its own anyway.
Yeah.
And then you're only ever like a Gigantic away, or the you can put them on a little bit of life, and then the chip damage from the Sunny Snitches burns them out when they try to play into your board. But all these cards are really good. For the generic links, IP Masquerena, SP Little Knight. This card
is insane. It's insane.
This thing's gonna get banned at some point, dude. There's no way this thing survives. The Spright Sprint, some of the live twin builds of Spright that I'm seeing like all over YouTube, because I looked at like what other people were doing to get a base for this deck, changed it to fit what I like. A lot of them aren't playing this because you only have this in hands where you draw a lot of sprites, but not a live twin. Because if you draw 1 live twin plus sprite monsters, you don't need this. But if you have a hand where like you go starter and like a DD Crow, right, in a matchup where Crow's not good, you starter into blue into Jet, special Jet, search one of your disruptive spells, and then normal summon the Crow, use the Crow and one of the names make Sprint, send Leela, and then use Sprint and the other level 2 make Gigantic, summon the Kill. So that way you get access to both twin names. And people ask me, they're like, why would you not just make Sprite Board? Sprite Board has no follow-up. That's the one issue with Spright. It can still board build almost as good as it used to, like at full power, but its follow-up it's not even lacking. It's not there.
Yeah.
So in a format where decks are packing more going second cards than ever and are more resilient than ever, I don't like the idea of building a board that's frankly not as good as Vanadium's, because only that deck makes the auto win boards. And then I'm playing a Nightmare Griffin. This is the 15th card in the extra deck. This is the flex slot. I never made it. Realistically, there are some matchups where that skill drain type effect is really big, and then also resetting a starter is nice.
Yeah.
But realistically, I might actually just cut this for the longest time I was playing a copy of E Pearly Noir, because it's a generic rank 2 and can clear, there can be only one and goes in match really easily. But this is the 15th card. This can kind of be whatever you want. As for the links, the Xyz monsters, every single one of them is a banger. 2 Gigantic Spright, you use both frequently. 1 Gin Buster. Did you know that this thing's a fiend? So if you're locked with the live twin link 2s, because they lock you into fiends from the Estrich Vesta turn, you can summon back one of your level 2s and then just make this with like a jet, which is really funny.
I did not even think about that.
This card's so good. And also, it burns. So that's more ways to hit for like 65, 68, and then a little bit of chip damage and burn damage, and then they're out of the game.
Yep.
One Ninja Shadow Mosquito, shout out Josh, you know who you are, convinced me to play this card. This thing, I did not summon this for like 3 weeks, and then I summoned it almost every match of the event. It was insane. Commanded a Veiler when my Zeus otherwise would have eaten a Veiler because that's the 15th card. Also just outs dumb things. It's just incredible. And I don't think Zeus needs explaining. This card is also just unbelievably strong.
Should be probably banned.
I could see it being limited at some point. The one thing I also want to talk about why I'm not playing, a lot of people are curious why I was not playing Typhon. I don't think Typhon's worth it in a deck like this because this is a deck that wants to spam really hard. There's not really a hand where I want to summon the Typhon, I guess. Like, if I'm not able to crack the board without Typhon, because of the way the deck works, Typhon wouldn't have made much of a difference. And then for the side deck, we played 3 Droll. This is pretty standard. I don't think I need to explain this. 3 Book of Eclipse. Also good into Pearly. Decent into Rescue Ace because, unlike Book of Moon, if you activate this and they chain link to the emergency to like summon Preventer, the Preventer will get summoned, their mouse will get sent, and then everything gets flipped face down. So they won't have the Preventer and the other name to be able to flip your guys face down.
Yeah.
So then at that point, you're just playing through the 2 trap cards, which almost anything in this deck can do. We're playing 2 Cosmic. I wanted to find space for a 3rd, but I just couldn't. The other bannable card, 2 copies of Thrust, and then even more power cards, 1 Feather Duster, the 3rd Talents, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Evenly. All of these are searchable off of Thrust is insane, so this just gives you more access to whatever you want. Evenly in particular is unbelievable into the Rescue Ace matchup. I searched it with Thrust. He got to draw a couple cards off of his Heat Soul, but I still put him on nothing and then just built my board and he couldn't get back into it, and that's just all that it is, honestly.
Nice. I see you already got some Rarity Collection stuff in there too.
I do. I'm still looking for a couple things. I don't have my playset of Ulti Talents yet, but the Ulti Evenlies, CR Change of Hearts, they look great. Konami really did a great job with that. But I mean, yeah, I think the deck really felt amazing. Also never said I was at 41 in the main, as opposed to 40 because that's the YCS winning number.
That's the double cross.
That is the double cross.
The 41th card.
The 41st card was actually the 3rd Crow, actually, and it was worth it. I clogged a little bit more at 40 than I did at 41, and it was great. I wouldn't change a single thing with this list. Maybe the Griffin, but that's a minor change.
Awesome. Well, huge thanks to Drake for this deck list. Let us know what you guys think, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you support the channel.
Yep.